So much for people, for businesses, for life, so much of what we do is not about our actions. It's about how we handle bad days, our reactions. Everybody has bad days. Michael Jordan had bad games, bad days. People get divorced. They go into bankruptcy. Good people. They get, there's scammers everywhere. How do you react to it? How long are your dips? And I can remember my dad saying years ago, like recessions are garage sales for the prepared. Like, how long is the dip? Don't live up, you don't need a fourth jet ski, a third house, and a sixth car. Be ready for the dips from our economy. And so the story comes out for the Jets about Haason Reddick. And the downside for the Jets is it's not the distraction. Every team has distractions. It's that he's actually a really good player in a place of need because Bryce Huff, who led them with 10 sacks last year and was their highest graded pass rusher according to PFF, went to the Eagles. So they need a pass rusher. It's not the distraction necessarily. It's his talent, his skill, his ability. He plugs a hole. And the Jets have never been good with the dips. This team has very thin margins. Garrett Wilson's their only great receiver. Mike Williams can't stay healthy. Love him, but he can't stay healthy. Their offensive line, Tyron Smith, never gives you full season. Elijah Vera Tucker, I like him, hurt a lot. So their margins, they are one receiver injury and one running back ankle twist from having issues, and now they've lost their best pass rusher, and the guy they brought in wants to be traded. So their margins are thin. But it's okay, this stuff happens to everybody. But I'll give you an example of people that are prepared. The Chiefs have had to rebuild their O-line, their defense, and their wide receiver room. And yet they end up in Super Bowls and win them. The LA Rams have had massive coaching turnover. McVay's lost 4 coordinators. They have a different defensive coordinator every other year. Aaron Donald now leaves. Andrew Whitworth leaves. Matt Stafford's been hurt. Cooper Kupp is out. 7 years, McVay, 5 playoffs, 2 trips to the Super Bowl. They draft well. Their dips are brief. The Ravens have lost great coaches. They've missed on draft picks. Lamar's been hurt. They've lost people to free agency. And the Ravens are always in the Super Bowl bubble. Philadelphia signed Carson Wentz to a huge deal. Then they moved off him. They won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. Doug Peterson, they move off him. They hire Nick Sirianni. They get to another Super Bowl. Everybody in life has dips. Action is about 50% of life. The other 50 is reaction. How do you handle the dips? The Jets don't handle them well. So it's not just that their GM missed on a left tackle and a quarterback, because he's hit on like 8 to 10 players. But those are ones you can't miss on, especially over a 2-3 year period. Their head coach, he's had public snafus, calling out Aaron Rodgers, why are you going there? And if you've had public snafus, you've probably done stuff behind the scenes that's not great either in meetings or in, conversations. So it's not that the Jets necessarily make more bad moves than everybody else, but they're not good with the dips. The Rams were supposed to be in a rebuild. They were a play away from the NFC Championship last year with an incredibly young roster. Aaron Rodgers leaves the Green Bay Packers. A year later, they're better. Everybody's losing star quarterbacks. Everybody's dealing with injuries. Everybody's losing a great coordinator. Everybody's got a holdout. Everybody loses a great pass rusher. It's not that the Jets have more crap going on, but they don't know what to do with it. They don't react well. I mean, a prime example is and because they don't have any real identity, they let Aaron Rodgers come in, and Aaron's like, I want Nat Hackett. No. Jets hire Nat Hackett. Now they're bailing water to get another coordinator to run the clock or call plays for their offensive coordinator. So when you don't have an identity, which the Jets don't, impulsive owners, their identity, that you're willing to be pushed around by a star player. I want Alan Lazard. I want Nat Hackett. Yeah, how's that worked out? So it's the distraction here is not the big issue. They literally lost their best pass rusher, and they need this pass rusher, and they don't come across as very organized in the process. And they are, you can go look at Philadelphia, Rams, Chiefs, 49ers. 49ers draft Trey Lance. Whiff. Oh, my. Boom, Brock Purdy got it solved. Brandon Ayuk, draft 2 receivers. Trent Williams hurt. Okay, they didn't overcome that one. But that's the difference, is the Raiders and the Jets and historically the Bears. And everybody's losing. Everybody's got bad days. I mean, good God, the Packers lost Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Within a year, you're like, yeah, they may be better. They're organized. They have an identity. They have a plan. They're the dips in life. Everybody has them. Efficient, smart people, they're very brief. And with the Jets, they never are. All right, so the 2 worst trades in Major League Baseball history both belong to the Red Sox. They gave up Babe Ruth, and they gave up Mookie Betts. So, and you think, oh, I'm being hyperbolic here. Mookie Betts was been gone for 2 months. The kid's incredible. In his prime, the Red Sox are like, we're going to move him to the Dodgers. Yeah, you'll need a search party to find the players they traded for him, because only one guy they got for Mookie Betts still remains with the Red Sox. Don't need a lot of sleuthing. One guy's left. There's a rule in business, never let great walk out of the door. And in the 6 months after they signed Mookie Betts, 6 months later, the Dodgers signed him to a 12-year extension. They knew what they had. Probably the best player in baseball. He'll play any position. They put him at short. Last night, you want to go play right field? He didn't even really have a rehab. He's worked out at home. He has bats all over his house. He grabs them, swings. I mean, he didn't go to the minor leagues. He can play anything. Last night, right field, shortstop, played second base, probably could pitch, play catcher. The smile. He's great in the locker room. He's a leader. He can run any defensive position. Most well-liked guy in the clubhouse. He can hit for power. And the Red Sox let him go. They let great walk out of the building. It's just, now all they had to do with the Dodgers, all they had to do was eat David Price's contract. I mean, that might as well be, the sighting of Halley's Comet. Who remembers it? David Price. Where'd he go? I mean, like the contract. I remember it was a bad contract, but in the end, you got Mookie Betts for 12 years, who's just an absolutely unbelievable player. And I'm watching last night, and I'm like, I know Aaron Judge is great, but do the Dodgers have the 2 best players in baseball between Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani? And Ohtani this year, he's DH. So Mookie's giving you defense. He's giving you offense. He's giving you shortstop. And it's incredible. By the way, since the Dodgers traded for him, I was looking at some numbers this morning. Since the Dodgers traded for him, the Dodgers have the most wins in baseball, the first run differential, the second best home run differential, the best team ERA, and the Red Sox are 17th or lower in all those categories. They let great walk out of the building. This guy's unbelievable. Shortstop, second, right field. He'll play him. By the way, since he arrived, he's been top 5 in MVP voting, I think 3 or 4 times. Also, he has 124 home runs in 544 games. And when you look at him, he's slight. He's not a big guy. Ohtani and Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, some of the guys in this sport look like home run hitters. He reminds me a little bit of Joe Morgan, although Morgan was a second baseman, left-handed, smaller. But you're always like, how does Joe Morgan generate all that power? He's a little guy, and he batted third for the Big Red Machine. You watch Mookie Betts, and you're like, how does he generate all that power? He swung from the heels on his first at bat and kind of flopped over. He is also a profoundly good bowler. So whether it's baseball or bowling, he hovers around 300 a lot. But it is remarkable that you don't see great players moving into their prime traded very often. It's not like he was a disruptor. He was wonderful in the clubhouse. Everybody loved Mookie Betts. But the Red Sox financially, they had to get somebody to eat a big contract. And I look up and I'm just like, that guy is unbelievable. He has changed. I know we give a lot of press to Ohtani, but Mookie Betts arrived. It just changed everything. And last night was his first game back. He'd been out for a couple of months. They call it a 5-tool player, but if you add personality and leadership, he's probably a 7-tool player. And his first game, he also had a RBI single, and it just the energy around him. He's always smiling. There's great energy. First guy up the steps in the dugout to greet somebody. It's just watching him last night. I'm like, how in the world did the Red Sox let him go? Babe Ruth and Mookie Betts. And we don't talk a lot of baseball on this show, but it's very rare when you watch a sporting event. You see it in basketball a lot, and somebody jumps off the screen. That's like, T.O., when he was an NFL player, was so big and strong for a wide receiver, he jumped off the TV screen. LeBron's like that. Shaq was like that. You watch a baseball game with Mookie Betts, and even at its pace, which is slow, if he's involved in a play, who's that guy? Who is that guy? Mookie Betts returns for the Dodgers.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.